Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we're doing part 6 of our Hufflepuff playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy. We got a lot of side missions done earlier, so I think we're ready to move forward with the story. We're going to attend more classes and try to figure out where the missing pages from the journal are. I'm loving this game and I hope you all are enjoying this ride too. If you are, think about hitting that like button and maybe even subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot, and here we go.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
All right, we're gonna do this. This math door right here. Kick it in. All right, so you have to do math here. So like 0, 5, 0, 3. So we got to find that something that's 2, and it's the 1 question mark. So it's this one right here. And these symbols. Like unicorn's worth 1, right? And then like the spider is worth 8. The hydra's worth 9. It's the other ones that are like a little bit confusing. Anyway, we got to find 2. Apparently this symbol right here is the 2 value. All right, so then the second one, the double question mark thing there, the unicorn is worth 1, and we got 4. So we got to find 8, which is the spider. Wait, is my math wrong? 4 or 5, sorry. I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher. Sorry. Sorry. 4 plus 1 is 5, and so we got to find the 7. The 7. So this is sort of weird, but the 7 is this thing right here. I have no idea why that thing is the 7, but dude, I've been on a roll, a reading roll, and whatever. But at least we can laugh at ourselves, right? Or laugh at me. Yeah, so usually you get something. It seems like when you go into these rooms, you get something that's for eventually your room of requirement that you can decorate with, and you get like a piece of gear. I used to be good at math. When I was in school, I was really good at math. But that was a long time ago. Ooh, potions class. It'll be the first time I've done potions class. Let's begin.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As 5th years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan-Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wiggenweld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Points for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed,
your boy
each
drunk?
of you will have brewed a Wiggenweld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin.
All right.
Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients.
Oh, I suck at this.
Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous.
Yo, I'm a pro. I'm a pro.
I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done.
Thank
And
you.
from what I
Thank
hear
you.
of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippins, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office.
I do,
But in the
usually.
future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain, and will require you to be a bit more resourceful. Come
Steel?
and see me when you've finished brewing, and we'll see if it was skill or luck the first time round.
Professor Sharp said that Wiggle...
My parents considered keeping me home from school this year after the rumors of a goblin rebellion.
Fine job brewing your first Wiggenweld potion.
There you go.
But there are many potions.
I hear Professor Sharp say that you have permission to go
It's
into
a
his office.
Weasley.
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented with an extraordinary opportunity. I'm Gareth, by the way. Gareth Weasley. Bit of a prodigy with potions, if I do say so myself.
Pleasure to meet you. Wait, are you related to Professor Weasley?
She's my aunt. Keeps too close an eye on me for comfort. Ugh. But she can't be everywhere. Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular. I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
I suspect that's where I come in.
You're as clever as I'd hoped. I simply need a single Fwooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's office with his permission, perhaps you could grab it for me.
Ah, okay. I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
I don't know, Gareth. I don't want to get on Sharp's bad side.
You won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Sharp won't even miss it.
Very well. I'll bring you a Fwooper feather.
Brilliant! Wait until you
I don't
see
want to
what
be a
I'm growing.
nerd, you know?
Hurry back to me when you have the feather.
Remember,
I'm all disappointed. Memorandum. Date 31st December 1875. From Horror Offense Office. Subject Borgin and Burks. Borgin and Burks has had an increased amount of activity outside of ordinary shop hours, particularly in the wee hours of the night, with suspicious deliveries being made to the shop's back entrance. Given what we know of the shop's reputation, we are adding more Aurors to join those that have already been watching the shop. You're amongst the new additions. Further instructions to follow. And Borgin and Burke's been around for a while.
Revelio.
potion stations organized.
Professor Sharp must have learned a lot during his time as an Auror. I wish he talked about it more.
Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted.
Brilliant! Thank you! This is going to take a moment to brew. You should get back to brewing your Edurus potion, and I'll tell you when this concoction's finished.
Yeah.
Revelio.
My Wiggenweld potion's utter rubbish. Wish I could just replace it with one from JP.
Your potion should not be that color. Now,
Okay, why can't I see that? Why can't I get it? Professor Sharp's Auror badge. Aurors comprise the Ministry's magical law enforcement, protect the wizarding world from all sorts of threats, particularly those posed by dark wizard. This Auror's badge belongs to Professor Sharp.
proficiency and potions are two things that cannot be rushed. Have patience and be thorough.
Wake, we might get you back on the mod squad one day. That was easy enough.
And now we add the mallow sweet, and that's odd. What's happening? Wait, it's not supposed to. Ah! Get it! Oh! Dragon Dog! What happened?
Well done, Gareth.
It's always good fun, right?
Now, Mr. Weasley.
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again. Mr. Weasley did not do this on his own. His accomplice will answer to me as well.
It's not me.
I brewed an Adura's potion as you asked, Professor.
I'm surprised you had the time. You seemed rather busy helping Mr. Weasley brew chaos.
Me? No, me?
I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend.
Taking responsibility for one's actions does go a long way with me. I shall assume that you've learnt a lesson. As for the work you did today at your own cauldron, I will say you've done well.
Thank
I
you.
confess I was skeptical given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. Pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. That'll be all.
Thank you, sir.
I think each of us has had enough excitement for one day. Class is dismissed.
Thank you.
That was an interesting class.
Thanks to you. Wasn't precisely what I had in mind, but it was still brilliant. I appreciate your help. I hope Sharp wasn't too disagreeable when you handed in your potion. Heard him talking about taking responsibility.
Professor Sharp was annoyed, but we sorted it out. No harm.
Cheers to that. He probably had a good chuckle after we
Benjamin's
left.
so laid back.
Sharp may seem gruff, but I'd bet a few galleons he blew up a potion or two in his day. Best be off. Next time we talk, I promise, fewer explosions.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have it
Hogwarts
any
in
other
our
way.
common room
You
wants
know?
to talk to you. It's Eldritch Diggory. He used to be the Minister for Magic, I think.
Another Diggory? Interesting.
I was impressed that you were able to answer Professor Sharp's question about the Wiggenweld potion.
Oh, you're the new student. I've heard much about you. Thank you. I'm Amit, by the way. Pleasure, truly. And I've never seen anyone brew such a flawless Wiggenweld potion on their first try. Well done.
Right, Awakey?
I'm glad I was able to get it right the first time.
You must simply have a knack for potion making. Some students seem so confounded by potion recipes, it's as if they're written in gobbledygook. A fascinating language, by the way. Neither here nor there, really, but I am a self-taught speaker. Merlin's beard, good conversation is the enemy of free time. I must return my book, Gateway to the Far Stars, before my next class. Speaking of stars, we'll be in astronomy together. You'll love it. Professor Shaw is firm, but quite clever. See you soon, no doubt.
Okay. So let's check our missions real fast. All right, let's look at some quests here. Prisoner of Love. We'll keep doing this one right here. while I'm here, I'm gonna go put these tokens in the Hufflepuff chest, which I believe is right up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Whoa, what did I just do? Did I just break something? What the hell is that?
Another house token for the house chest. That's it. I'm making good progress with those tokens.
I am. All right, painting, talk to me. Wait, let me eat a piece of cake first.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself. So few students know who I am these days. Eldridge Diggory, former Minister for Magic and founder of the Aura recruitment program at your service. I believe you
Did I
can
just
help
cough
solve a
into the
decades-old
mic
murder,
without muting?
thanks to that book
I
you
apologize.
found, and, in particular, its missing pages.
How do you know about the book and the pages?
We portraits hear more than you might suspect, and most of us can keep a secret. So, what say you? Surely a Hufflepuff such as yourself would be inclined to help seek long overdue justice.
So I wonder if this Diggory is related to Amos and Cedric.
I'll do whatever I can.
Wonderful. I am pleased to have been right about you. My great niece, Helen Thistlewood, can provide you with details. She's retired now, but was a skilled aura in her day. And the unsolved murder of which I speak was her case. I often visit my portrait in her home, in the nearby hamlet of Upper Hogsfield. Shall I tell her to expect you?
Can you tell me more about your great niece?
Cream of the crop when it comes to auras. A star pupil here, and then an exemplary servant to the ministry. And her spark hasn't diminished one bit in her retirement. She and I often chat about old cases and our glory days. No offense, but it's nice to get away from the students and converse with someone who's familiar with my legacy.
When were you the Minister for Magic?
Over 100 years ago. 1733 to 1747, to be precise.
Jeez.
The stories I could tell you.
That was a long time
Didn't
ago.
have the chance to do all that I could. I was in the midst of reforming Azkaban when my life was cut short by dragon pox. I was sneezing sparks to the bitter end.
I shall go and see her right away.
Brilliant. With what I suspect is your knack for hard work and her keen mind, both mysteries may be solved sooner than you think. I shall see you there soon, I hope.
Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
So with this character, I haven't found a lot of stuff in Hogsmeade. With my my Ravenclaw character, I found a lot of stuff.
I simply pretended that someone had used
And why are these kids like just chilling here? Like super late at night. Alright. Let's stay focused.
Revelio.
Like I did a lot of stuff here. I went to all these places.
Revelio. Accio. Revelio.
Frogspawn soap. An amphibious surprise awaits anyone who tries to wash with this particular bar of soap. Once submerged in water, a cohort of wriggling tadpoles hatches from right out of the suds.
Revelio.
I think there's a couple of more field guides in here. Trying to find where they're at. I think it's over here. Could have sworn there was one more. There it is. Dung bomb, a favorite among pranksters. The dung bomb produces a foul odor, causing anyone in the vicinity to evacuate post haste.
Revelio.
I think the... Did I get this one already? No. Zonko's Joke Shop, frequented regularly by Hogwarts students and villagers alike. Zonko's is a place to buy pranks and jokes in Hogsmeade.
Revelio.
Anything going on here? If I had a broom, this would be so much faster. Can brother get a broom? What's going on here? Interesting.
Who's there? Let me overtake him.
Hit me again.
Yes. Accio.
Yeah, boy.
To Revelio.
Nothing interesting in here.
Revelio.
Who lived here, I wonder?
Whoa. Where is that? I guess we're not going to stay on track, guys.
Revelio.
I need to know what's going on.
Incendio.
All day.
Revelio.
There's all kinds of stuff in here.
Oh.
Can I go down there? What's that stuff do? Whoa.
If only Professor Fink could have seen that.
Ooh, what is that? Ancient, just an ancient magic spot?
Revelio.
Why does it seem like it's always nighttime here too?
Revelio.
Let me steal that money. All right. And again, let's get back to the main mission here. Oh, this is a totally new place.
Revelio. This must be the place Minister Diggory mentioned. Helen lives around here somewhere.
Yo, so many missions. If you don't mind, I'd like to steal this. Get that
Bardo
flu powder or flu flu flame.
He was.
Let's find this main mission here.
Here you are.
Revelio.
I'm pleased to see you took my advice.
Dear sister, it's been some time since we've heard from you. How are things in the ministry? We continue to think of you and hope that you're doing well. You'll be happy to know that we've all made peace with your decision to become an Auror, and as dangerous as it is, you must live your life and follow your path. You're doing so in the service of the wizarding world. I'm proud to call you sister. I must inform you of something that you may find curious. It seems a troll has taken up residence in the train tunnel near town. The poor thing's most certain to learn a tragic lesson about the fundamental philosophy of locomotives. Right soon, Eddie Thistlewood. Oh God, more reading. The Thistle and the Badge. Helen Thistlewood. Reflections of a former Auror. Retirement isn't what I expected. I enjoy the leisure time, of course, but I do miss the excitement of hunting magical fugitives. I know you're not supposed to admit that you actually enjoy the turmoil associated with the job, but how can you feel anything other than exhilaration when chasing a Ukrainian iron belly through a Muggle city and then obliterating all the Muggles you saw? Or foiling a dark wizard's plot to take over the ministry with an army of Chinese chomping cabbages using only a single basket of bouncing bulbs. When the ministry finally makes all of my old cases public, my neighbors will never look at me the same way again. Old Madame Thistlewood down the lane is the one who put that nasty brute so-and-so in Azkaban. For now, I can merely insinuate lest I divulge something confidential. I would hate to force my former colleagues into locking me away in Azkaban. Not an appealing thought. Well, I suppose I should check in on my garden. The bluebells have been struggling this season. Give me that money.
Revelio.
Excuse me, Helen. Let me read about you first. The Thistle and the Badge, Helen Thistlewood, Reflections of the Former. I have a lot of time these days to reflect upon my career. I wonder if the good we did balances out the mistakes we made along the way. Did we always catch our criminals? No. Did we sometimes put away the wrong person? It's possible. Is that an acceptable risk when it comes to preserving the well-being of Wizarding World at large? I'd like to think so, but then again, I'm not an innocent witch moldering away in Azkaban. If I were, then perhaps I would feel differently. It is a quandary without a solution, or at least not one that I am likely to solve. This is a problem with retirement. It leaves one with too much time to dwell upon bygone problems, but there's nothing one can do about it. Oh, and my bluebells died. I'm still dwelling upon my big hypothetical from the other day. I always made certain that I could defend my decisions before the Wizengamot should the need arise. I was required to do this on a rare occasion, and it was never a pleasant experience, no matter how confident I was. Despite what some believe, the ministry is far more omnipotent, and when I hung my badge, I left behind quite a few unsolved cases. If I had all the time in the world, I doubt I could solve them all. But should the opportunity arise to revisit one and correct my mistakes I made, I will certainly take it. That's the only way to rest easy about my career. Never hesitate to fix mistakes, especially if they are yours to begin with. I feel that in our haste to meet our justice, we may inadvertently become the vehicle for injustice. I fear this especially for myself, and I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Oh, and I'm through with gardening. I need a new hobby. That's fun. It is an interesting thought.
Revelio.
Madam Thistlewood, I met your great uncle in his portrait in my common room. He sent me to speak to you.
I'm pleased you came. Uncle Eldridge believes the book you found and its missing pages may be relevant to an unsolved case from my time as an aura.
Very well. I'm listening.
Decades ago, a student named Richard Jackdaw disappeared after going to meet a girl named Anne. They never found his body. When his headless ghost appeared briefly in Hogsmeade, wholly unaware of how he died, Anne was convicted of his murder and sent to Azkaban. It was in large part due to the testimony of a girl called Apollonia Black. Jealous of Anne, I think.
That sounds terrible, but I'm not sure how I can help.
Anne's alibi was somewhat labyrinthine. She said Jackdaw promised her adventure following a map he found on some pages he'd stolen from Peeves.
And you think Peeves ripped those pages from the book I found in the restricted section?
If my great-uncle is to be believed, yes. At least that's what the portraits at Hogwarts suspect. Anne insisted that Jackdaw had asked her to follow the map with him, but only after she solved a series of puzzles he'd prepared. Odd way to woo a girl. She swears she never even solved the first puzzle, so they didn't meet. Jackdaw's ghost vanished almost as soon as he appeared. Without Jackdaw's puzzle, pages, or remains, Anne was sent to Azkaban based solely on Apollonia's spurious testimony.
I don't understand. What can I do to help?
I believe Anne may have solved the first puzzle by now, but after spending time in Azkaban, she's a shadow of her former self. She won't speak to anyone she doesn't trust, and she trusts no one. If you, a student with a connection to the pages, like Jackdaw had, spoke to Anne, she might reveal new information.
Let's do it.
What a horrible story.
Let's do it.
If you think I can help, I'll come with you.
This is wonderful news. You are to be commended for your kindness and bravery. Fortunately, being a retired aura has its benefits. We can apparate right to her. I've escorted ministers, professors, and many others to that blasted place. Never a student, I'll admit, but I will keep you safe.
Ooh, we're gonna get to see Azkaban?
Can you tell me more about Apollonia Black?
Wretched, vindictive girl, that one. Apollonia claimed that Anne threatened to kill the boy after he broke her heart. The Black family's power over certain people in the Ministry, along with the fact that Anne is Muggle-born, sealed her fate.
I'd like to know more about Anne.
That poor soul never was the brightest girl, and that lack of wit proved to be her undoing.
I half suspect Jackdaw and Apollonia were merely toying with her. Who could have known he'd end up dead?
She's not held up well in Azkaban. In some ways, she blames me for not proving her innocence. I'd like to clear her name if we can.
You said Jackdaw's ghost appeared briefly, then vanished. Where do you think he went?
I have no idea. Evidently, he was always a bit restless, going on and on about adventure. If I had to guess, he tired of Scotland and is somewhere on the other side of the globe by now.
Very well.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Steady yourself. We'll apparate together. Don't worry, I've never splinched anyone.
Do take care now, and tread lightly in that horrible place.
We'll be there in but a moment.
No splinching. No splinching. He's got a puke. Yo. This is sort of exciting.
Expecto Patronum!
That ought to keep them at bay for now. Though, be aware, you may feel a wave of despair. It will pass.
Thank you for the warning.
This really is a dismal place, but we'll be out of here soon enough. Now follow me. Do keep your wits about you.
I never thought I'd see the inside of Azkaban for myself.
Nasty Dementors. Not even I could convince the Ministry to send them off. There's no need for such monsters.
Careful around, Anne. She's been here a lot longer than the rest of us.
If I had my wand, I'd cast Crucio on the lot of you!
You don't sound very nice.
You don't scare me, young cur. I teach you so little of what you should know of.
That witch you're with has a dark cloud over her. I can feel it.
Has someone come to feed me? Is someone there?
No one at school's going to believe this.
Now remember, Anne has been here a long time. The Dementors aren't kind. Have patience and speak to her quietly and respectfully.
Are you Anne?
Who's there? Who speaks to me? Is that death finally come for me?
I'm a student from Hogwarts. I found the book that you said would exonerate you.
Ah, the book, the book. No one would look. None of the mages found the pages. Methinks the feckless knave meandered to his cave. My fate was surely sealed in Upper Hogsfield.
Are you saying that the missing pages are in a cave? Near Upper Hogsfield?
Hogsfield, ruins house, a vault concealed.
A vault in some ruins? Near Upper Hogsfield? I suppose it can't hurt to look.
Can't hurt to look, can't hurt to look. Go find the pages from your book. Helen, know you're here. Come in closer, be a dear.
What is it, Anne?
Oh, snap. Did she just kill her?
You're hurt.
Go. The cave. You're safe now. You have what you need. I'll be all right once I get...
But, Madam Thistlewood, All right. I'll find it. I'll find Jackdaw's cave.